Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another lesson in this web design series. We're still going through CSS, and in this lesson, we're going to look at how we can use different CSS styles to style our links and our buttons. So let's go ahead and get started with that without wasting any time. Go ahead and generate your boilerplate code, and here I'm just going to call this links and buttons. And then I'm going to go ahead and link a CSS file to that. Save that. And now down inside of this body, let's have a div, and we're going to give that a class of box. And then inside of that div, we'll have a p tag, and then, I don't know, lorem 50. Let's just put a bunch of garbage text in there. And then after that, we're going to do two things. We're going to have an anchor tag, and I'm just going to have this link to Amazon. So https:/amazon.com. And then finally here, I'll say Amazon link. And then after this, we're going to have a button. And then inside this button, I'll give it a class. And this class is just going to be my button. And then finally over here, we can just say click me. So now if I go ahead and save this file and refresh my web page over here, you could see I've got my garbage text up here, my Amazon link, and then click me. Now if I come over into the styles, in here there's a couple different things that we can do. First of all, I'm going to give the entire box a little bit of style here. So we're going to say box, and in here I'll just say width is 400 pixels. We can say margin is going to be, I don't know, 10 pixels. And then I'm going to go ahead and say padding is also 10 pixels, just to space it out a little bit. And then after that, we can say our background color is going to be light blue, and our border, we can just make it 2 pixels solid black. So now down here, if I want to target that link and maybe make it look a little bit like a button, I can do that. And you'll remember my anchor tag here that I'm using for that link is just an A. So I don't have a class name on that, but that's fine. I can simply come in here and say .box and A, and that's going to give me all of the anchor tags inside of that box for my selector. And then with that, I can say padding is maybe 4 pixels just to make that a little bit bigger. We'll give that a border, and the border can be, we'll say 2 pixels. It's going to be a solid. And then finally, I'll say dark blue. Now, if I come down here and I say background color, and maybe for my background color, I just want to do blue, just normal blue. And for our color itself, let's say I want to do maybe Alice blue. Okay, so now if I save that, you can see this is not looking good, but that's not really the point here. The point is just showing you the kind of different properties that you can set here. So you can still see if I hover over that, I get the cursor, but nothing else changes. Now, if I really want to emphasize that this is something that we can click on and that we can do, well, I can add additional hover properties to this as well. So I could say .box A, and then if I do colon, hover, and now inside of here, this is gonna, basically any properties I put in here, well, that's gonna change if I hover over that. So if I now say padding is equal to 24 pixels, and then my background color is equal to maybe dark blue now, and if I save that, it all looks the same, but if I come and hover over that, you can see this link really pops out, and I'm totally exaggerating here. Don't do this on a real website because that looks terrible. But you can see that we can really change any property we want on a hover. And this colon hover that we have here, this is called a pseudo-class, and basically what it means is we're going to apply these properties whenever all of the anchor tags within our box class are in a hovered state. So if I hover over it, you see the styles, and if I don't, you don't see it. And there's a couple other pseudo-classes actually that we can apply as well. We're not going to talk about all of them here, but I will show one more for this. and it's for anchor tags. There's one called visited. So typically, if you just see a standard blank HTML file, your links will all be blue. And then if I click on one of those, it's going to change to purple. So if I come in here and I say color, I can make this whatever color I want. Maybe we want it to be aqua after we've gone to the link. If I save the file, now you can see that that link color has changed to aqua. So just to really drive that point home, let's go ahead and save or change this link rather to something different, something that we haven't visited yet. So here's our YouTube link. Now if we save that, you can see it's white. And if I click on that and then go back to my page, now you can see that because I've now visited that link, it's changed to teal. Now what about this button here? What if I want to style that in a similar way? So if I come into here, I can see I have all of my box stuff set up and all my links set up. But if I make one down here for my button class, I can change whatever I want here. So let's add some padding to that, maybe 8 pixels of padding, and then let's give that some rounded corners. So we can say border radius of maybe 15 pixels. Save that, and there we go. We have a button. But again, if I hover over it, I don't see anything. Nothing's changing here. If I hover over here, you can see my cursor changes and my size and color changes, but here nothing's happening. And I really want to indicate to my user that this is a button. So we can actually do the same thing here where we have this A hover. I can do that on the button as well. So I can say my button and then colon hover. And then after that, we can say cursor. And if you set that to a pointer and I save that, well, now if I hover over the button, I see that cursor there as well. And really, we can change anything here. So I could say background color, and instead of gray, we could say maybe, we'll change that to dark gray. So now if I save that, you can see, there we go. And another one that the button has, you can see if I click that, it looks almost like it's impressing it a little bit into the screen. Well, that's pretty much called the active Pseudo-Class. So if I come down here and say my button, colon active, so anything I put inside of here, I can change when I'm pushing the button. So let's say I wanted to shrink that a little bit. So I have 8 pixels of padding on my button. And if I have it active, let's say I want to bring that padding down to something a little bit smaller, like 4 pixels. So now if I save that and click on my button, you can see it actually shrinks as I click on it. So pretty much anything you do to your link, you can also do to your button. And again, don't worry, we will get into making these look actually better. I think they weren't made in the 1980s. But basically, this is what you're going to be using to style buttons and links. It's these pseudo-classes that you have here where you can select certain properties and you can target those properties only for when their parent class is in a certain state. In this case, active and hover and then visited. So hopefully this is all clear to you. If not, go ahead and review this lesson, and then I'm going to put some links down in the description for some reading that will help you with these topics as well. So definitely like and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below telling us what you think, and we will see you in the next video.